Welcome to another great episode of Educate Africa with me, Dr. Sanele Kamede. Today, in this episode, I want us to look at the difference between studying hard and studying effectively. If you know by now, this episode is part of a series called Finishing Your Qualification in Record Time. Please, if you haven't watched the series, go back to the previous episode and make sure that you catch up. We are on episode 7 of 10. And my team asked me to ask you to subscribe. I'm saying this word very nicely because sometimes they say it sounds weird when I say it. So please make sure that you activate the notification so that you are alerted when we drop an episode. And be kind enough to tell a friend to join the Educate Africa family. So let's look at the difference between studying hard and studying effectively. And I want us to look at studying effectively before we can look at studying hard. Studying effectively, it means preparation. It means you don't start studying when you have to study, especially for exams. It means you know the module very well, you have the course outline, you are self-aware of what is happening in this module. It means when the module starts, when the class starts, the beginning, the first lecture, especially if you are at tertiary, that's where you start studying. You are effectively there. You are involved. You are part of the learning process. You are engaged. It means you know what comes first and what is next and what comes last. You are not going to feel like you are hit by a bus where it's like all of a sudden. Studying effectively starts with having a proper plan around your academic life. Studying effectively means you know what is happening in each and every subject or in each and every module that you are doing. You have gathered all the resources before you actually reach the time where you either have to write an exam or you have to submit an assignment or you have to submit a portfolio, depending on how you are being assessed. Because we can speak about exams as if everyone is going to be assessed through exams. So there's a tendency of people crushing towards the time for submissions, towards the time for examinations. They study very hard. They then sleep very late, or others don't even sleep, which is now they're studying hard. And it comes from failing to understand that you need to be organized. And I'm always using the idea of self-aware because some people do study. Students, learners do study as if they are not even there. They are not even aware that they are part of the module. Some you do say to them, hey, have you collected your script? Hey, what the assignment is all about? And they sound confused because they are not involved in the module. And that is going to result in you studying very hard. Let's get to the exam part or the assessment part and look at the difference between then actually studying effectively and studying hard, being strategic in your studying, and I will say less strategic or studying very hard, torturing yourself, if I can put it in that way. So this is what normally will happen at tertiary particularly. You will have students piling work until the last minute. And they will use this fancy word saying, I work well under pressure. It gives me reason to wake up. No, you are just applying to fail. In fact, if I were to put it very provocatively, I will say failing in most instances is a choice. Is a choice because some people really, really fail to organize how they are going to study, what they are going to study, why they are doing this, how and where, and what is involved in what they are doing. They lack that planning. So as a result, they will then have to study the whole night before the exam, which is the torture that I wanted to talk about when I'm talking about studying hard, which is making sure now that you have to have energy boosters, which is the most dangerous thing for many people. And it's dangerous because some students missed test exams, submissions because they overslept. And why they overslept is because they studied a very hard overnight. And why they studied a very hard overnight is because they left the work piling, which means some of them were not cognizant of how many modules are they submitting assessment for, how many modules are they writing an exam for, what does it take, on which days, so how much space do I have in between, how much time do I need to prepare for each subject or for each module, which is very important because it gives you the idea that, okay, my study break starts on this date. So either classes or lectures, they end on this particular day. Then I have to study or I have to start studying on this particular day. But the studying doesn't start when you have to study for the exam. It starts on the first day that I spoke about, the first lecture that I spoke about, the notes that you have been compiling on the first day. That's where you start preparing for the exam. And that's where you will avoid studying hard, where now you have to have, as I indicated, energy drinks, where you have to have alarms waking you up. I've heard someone saying, I normally ask 5 people, different people, to wake me up. Can you imagine that torture? Having to ask 5 people to wake you up because you know very well that you slept late. In fact, even how you eat, what you eat, it starts to change because you probably feel the pressure. And it affects so many other things. The energy drinks will crush you during the day of the exam, particularly the day of the exam, because there you need to be awake. And that's what many students are missing. They are missing the idea that you need to be in the most freshest state of mind when you are writing an exam. You can't wake up. In fact, some, they don't even wake up. They just go and bath from the library, go and bath and come to the exam room. Some, they don't even bath. They just, from the library, they just go straight to the exam room, and 30 minutes into the exam, they feel dizzy, they have anxiety, some are sweating because the body is starting to crash. So you need to make sure that you have some sleep, you have some nice, good food. And you saw what I did there. Nice, but good food, healthy food, because it stimulates your mind. It makes you healthy and ready, to think, to process, to critically analyze, which is something that will be needed during your assessment, during your portfolio compiling or the submission of your portfolio. It doesn't matter how you are going to be assessed, but I think what I normally will point out to high school learners, I will normally point out the 6 P's, which is proper prior preparation that prevents poor performance. That's how you make sure that you study strategically, you study effectively, than studying hard. And I'm sure someone wants me to break down the 6 P's that I'm talking about. If I say studying prior, like I indicated, I mean you are giving yourself enough time way before you are expected to actually write or submit. When I say proper, I'm saying give yourself enough time to study properly, to scrutinize whatever that you need to scrutinize, because some people, it's not that they failed the module because, or the subject because they don't understand it. They didn't have proper and prior enough time to unpack all the components that they need to unpack in this subject so that they can better understand it. So we said it's prior, proper, and then the third P is preparation. You will feel like this studying thing is very hard when you don't have preparation, when you don't prepare. And preparing, I'm sorry, it starts with preparing to go to lectures, preparing to go to class. Whether it's online, face to face, you need to prepare, which means you need to read. You need to download those readings and prepare and make some notes, put together some questions so that you can ask the lecturer. And that prepares you for that examination. Not that you are preparing on the day of the exam. It starts way before that. It's a process, unfortunately. So it's prior, proper preparation that prevents a poor performance. If you want to prevent a poor performance, if you want to prevent studying hard and feeling like this whole studying thing is like lifting a big stone, you need to apply these 6 P's. You need to remember these 6 P's, particularly the first 3 P's. They are very key to you feeling this studying thing as something very light instead of something very heavy. I know that circumstances might be different depending on where you're studying, what module or what degree are you doing, whether the mode is online or face-to-face or hybrid. It will depend the type of classes that you are in, which is the infrastructure. I know I don't want to sound like I'm putting this whole thing in one umbrella. I know there are differences, there are difficulties, but I want you to know that the expectation is the same. We all need to get educated. We need to have this sort of qualifications that certify that we have these particular skills that we want to use in the outside world. It's unfortunate. Whether you are studying under the tree, it's unfortunate, I understand, but the outcome, we want you to have that qualification. So using infrastructure or the classroom environment as an excuse, unfortunately, it is an excuse valid only to you. So I want you to be self-aware, which is the word that I want you to have in your mind constantly. Self-aware, self-awareness. What is going on? What do I have? What could possibly go wrong? In fact, I'm just surprised about how many people fail to have strategy. And I was talking to my brand manager about it to say, we need to go back to having a strategy in our lives. We need to have plan A, plan B, and plan C. The whole idea that, I will see what happens. I will just, the whole winging it thing, it's really messing up quite a number of things. You might wing it 1 or 2 times, probably the third time, it will catch up with you. So it's very, very important that as a student, you know the difference between studying effectively, studying strategically, and studying very hard. Ask yourself, is what am I doing as a result of failure to strategize? Am I studying hard or am I studying effectively? And I'm sure the headaches, the burnout, the stress, the anxiety, the sleepless nights will answer you very well on the question of whether you are studying effectively or you are studying hard. This education thing was not meant to be very painful. It has to be somehow difficult, but it's not meant to be this kind of monster that everyone is trying to portray it to be. I mean, I know you will say, Sanele, you are speaking because Pela, you now have a PhD and so forth. I was once there. I was once there. I thought maths is for certain people. I know we are capable differently, but trust me, it wasn't meant to be this torture that we have all painted it to be. It's supposed to be, yes, a little bit painful, challenging, but it's supposed to be something possible because it's doable. There are many people who have done it. I don't want you to crack your head thinking, probably this thing has never happened before. No, you are lying to yourself. You are going to write an exam. You are going to submit a portfolio. You are going to submit assessments that are going to be compiled into an exam. Someone else has done that before. That road is not new. Some people have journeyed on that road. So please make sure that you don't lie to yourself and confuse this idea of studying hard and studying effectively. All I can say is I want you to remember that it is possible because it's doable. And if you are studying, all the best. And I wish you nothing but the best in your studies. I know you are capable and I know you can do it. Take care.